right, everybody, we are live. Very good to see you all. Leave me a comment. Let me know that you're here right now. And I'm excited. We're going live everywhere right now. We're going live on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. I think a couple of those are getting fired up right now. If you're here with me, leave me a comment and let me know. And David, you let me know when we're live everywhere.
We are live everywhere.
Can we pull up the comments here for TikTok and Instagram? A plethora of me. That's a great name. Hello. Hi, Nazia. Hi, Sydney. Hi, MC. Shan, what's going on? Sandhya. Where are you right now? Let me know where you're watching this from in the world. I really enjoy seeing where everyone is, and it really comes to life for me how many of you watch what I do from different parts of the world whenever I travel. Me and my wife Audrey were just in Tokyo and parts of Japan for the last 2.5 weeks, and it was just amazing to see how many people came up to me and spoke to me on the street in our place that we were staying in. When we traveled on the train, we had people coming up and saying that they had been watching for years. Some people said they'd been watching for over 10 years. And that was in Japan. It was just unbelievable. So the thought that I could go anywhere in the world and meet people that have been connecting with my work over the years is just a beautiful prospect for me. So hello to all of you. Denmark, Sri Lanka, Kenya. Me and Audrey were in Kenya this year. I'm sad we didn't run into each other. Montreal, Serbia. Amazing. Switzerland. Well, it's so lovely to be with you. I'm going to be answering some questions today. I've been away for a little bit, and I'm excited to be back. I'm excited to be able to connect with you all. So let's get started and answer some questions. I've got David, Audrey, and Vanessa in the back right now, and they're going to help me figure out some questions to answer. They're going to be dropping them into my screen so that I can see them. These are all questions I'm going to be answering that have been sent in live. I am live for anyone who is asking. If the picture comes up a little differently in your window, it's because we're literally going live across TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube all at the same time. But let's get started. So let's see what we have. I'm just going to see this question right now. And Vanessa, would you, if possible, drop the name of the person in there as well? I'd love to see who sent it. Don't worry on this one, but it would be great to see those. How to move on when you see that person daily and they are part of your friend circle. So yeah, this is a great question. How do you move on from someone who's actually part of your friend circle who you see a lot? Your first job is to protect yourself and your energy. And your energy is like the most beautiful thing about you. Your energy is what has to be protected and preserved in these situations. And right now, it sounds like you're heartbroken. It's not going to do you any favors to spend any more time than you need to around this person. In order for your heart to heal, you need space. And you can't get that space if you're constantly reopening the wound by being around someone. Now, there are certain situations where that's a little harder. If you're working with someone in the same office and you see them every day, that's undoubtedly harder. And we have to kind of go into a much more, what's the word? We have to kind of find ways to compartmentalize in those environments. But I would ask you, is it necessary to see this person and your friends at the same time? If they're part of your friend circle, then I assume those friendships are strong enough that you can not go to the group gatherings right now. You could just see those friends separately, meet them for coffee, meet them for dinner in ones and twos. You don't need to meet as part of a big group with that person there, right? There's no need to consistently reopen a wound when you don't have to. If what you're trying to hold on to is your friendships, then hold on to your friendships. Don't lose your community, but see those friends away from that person. And if they're real friends, they'll understand your need to do that. If in your head you go, yeah, but I'm going to have FOMO on the occasions when everyone's together, that's ego, right? So don't let your ego put you in situations that continuously hurt you, and be wary of the kind of hidden agenda that some people have. I'm not saying you do, but some people have this kind of hidden agenda that I want to keep putting myself in a situation where I see this person because it means maybe there's still a chance I can stay close to them. I keep them within arm's reach. So you have to be very wary of that instinct too. If they're real friends, they'll see you separately. And if you're seeing them separately, then you don't need to worry about going to the group gatherings right now. All right, let's see. What else have we got? That one was from Shraddha, I think. So Shraddha, thank you for the message and for the question. Amanda says, how can I distinguish my needs in a relationship versus anxiety? How can I distinguish my needs from my anxiety? This is such a great question because so many of us struggle with this. Am I asking for something legitimate, or am I being a lot right now? I've been there. I've literally been in situations in relationships where I don't know if I'm in the right or I'm in the wrong. And one of the things that I do in those situations is I go to people I really trust. Not people who are just going to tell me what I want to hear. You have to be very careful of the friends that will just tell you what you want to hear. But find people in your life that you really trust, people who give it to you straight, people who will tell you if your demands are a little unreasonable, and ask them for their honest, balanced, unbiased opinion. And preface the question by saying to them, look, I'm really trying to figure out honestly whether what I am asking for is unreasonable. And I don't want you to tell me what you think I want to hear or sugarcoat it for me. I really want your objective opinion because that's what's going to help me the most. And then be honest with them about the context. Don't tell the story in a way that makes your partner sound better than they are or worse than they are. Just lay out the facts as they are and let someone you trust weigh in on that. And especially do this with people who are in really healthy relationships. Find people who are in healthy relationships and ask them, you know, how does this ever show up in your relationship? How have you dealt with it? Don't ask people who, you know, who you feel are consistently in difficult relationships themselves, because they may not have the right answers and they may not have healthy answers for you. Okay, let's see. AV says, how do you let go of a person that you let go of because you knew it couldn't work out? I didn't fall in love. I didn't want to be with her genuinely and kept forcing myself to stay, thinking it might change. How do you let go of a person who... how do you let go? Let me try and grasp this question. How do you let go of a person who let go, or you let go because you knew it couldn't work out? It sounds like you already did let go of this person, AV. You know, you said you didn't fall in love. You didn't want to be with her genuinely, and you kept forcing yourself to stay. One of the things that can help in situations like these is to recognize that you're not, in those cases, just wasting your own time. You're also wasting someone else's. I don't know if your fear is for yourself or for the other person. If your fear is hurting someone else, you have to connect with the fact that you're hurting them in the short run by letting them go, but you're giving them a much greater chance at happiness in the long run by letting them go. And you're actually expediting their road to happiness, because they can find happiness 6 months from now if you let them go today. But if you keep them for another year, then they have no chance of finding happiness in that time, because you're occupying that space that someone who could make them happy could be occupying. If you're worried about hurting yourself because you're afraid of being alone, then that's a pattern worth observing. Oh, I'm holding on to this person who's not right for me because I am afraid of being out there and being by myself. I'm afraid of nothing happening in my love life. Maybe I'm afraid this is the best I'm going to do. And those are patterns worth exploring. And, if you were willing to explore, if you genuinely thought maybe this person could be right, but I'm just running away, then that's worth exploring through coaching or therapy with or without that person, to see if maybe you can start to alleviate your concerns and lean into the relationship. If you fundamentally know this relationship is wrong for you, but you're only staying because you're afraid to leave and you're afraid to be on your own, then the thing you have to do is the scariest thing, which is to go and be alone. You have to do the scariest thing of actually letting someone go and facing your fear, because otherwise you're never going to find, or it's going to be very hard to find the right person for you, because you're always going to be acting out of fear. You're not going to be acting out of a place of love. You're not choosing a relationship because you think this person is awesome. You're choosing a relationship because you feel like you can't breathe without a relationship. You feel like you can't be happy or you can't feel safe unless you've got someone by your side, even if that person is wrong for you. So you have to do the scary thing. And coaching or therapy can really help with you doing that scary thing. But the benefits are huge by doing that, because you'll feel okay by yourself, and then you start to make better choices in your love life. I want to let everyone know before I move on to the next question that we have a really great Black Friday offer on right now. We actually don't normally do Black Friday offers, but we decided to do one this year because we have something brand new that we thought lent itself really well to Black Friday and this season of people wanting a great deal on something. And that thing is Matthew AI. If you haven't tried Matthew AI yet, it is literally a tool that we created over many months this year, where you can pick up the phone and call me and you will hear my voice answering your question. You can speak your question and it will answer you, or you can text your question and it will text you back. And you can use this for text messages that you want to analyze from someone else, behaviors that you want to understand, knowing how to have a certain conversation that you're struggling with having, knowing how to get over a breakup if you need emotional support, understanding what could be a good text to send someone, understanding how to deal with someone who's hot and cold or bring the attraction back. It is there for every kind of situation. And people have used it not just for their love life, they've used it for their life in general. We had someone message us recently to tell us that their house burned down in California, tragic situation. And someone used Matthew AI to coach them through this really tragic and devastating situation in their life, which is unbelievable. People have been using this for so many different things. The longest call that Matthew AI has had at this point is 6 hours long. So that tells you what this is. It's not just quick answers. It's not just practical answers. It's also genuinely providing a therapeutic and coaching tool for people where they're able to engage with it for long periods of time. It's answered over 1 million questions at this stage over the last few months. And a lot of people said, I'd love to try it if it was just a bit cheaper. Well, right now for Black Friday, we're doing a 50% off your first month of Matthew AI offer. So that means, I think is it $20 for the first month? I think it's $20. Is that right, Audrey? I think it is. But it's 19 maybe, but it's 50% off your first month and you get to use it unlimited. So if you want to spend hours on the phone to me, essentially, because Matthew AI is my answers. We have taken 17 years of my content and downloaded it into Matthew AI. So when you're getting Matthew AI's answer, you're not just getting some random internet answer. It's not like using ChatGPT or something like that. This is you getting my coaching for your scenario. So if you're on Instagram or Facebook right now and you want to get this offer, type Ask MH, ASKMH right now as one word into your comments, and I will send you a link to go and try that. If you are on YouTube or TikTok, what's the right link for everyone to go to? So that's right above me there, askmh.com. So if you're anywhere else other than Facebook or Instagram, go to askmh.com and you can take us up on that Black Friday offer that's only available for a few days. So go check it out. Go try Matthew AI for yourself. All right, very good. Let's keep going. What other questions do we have? We have Megan, who says, what do you do when you feel like you're putting in all the work in a relationship? He says he wants to be with me, but it feels one-sided and I feel taken advantage of. So you feel like you're putting in all of the work. He says he wants to be with you, but that's a very different thing, right? Your complaint is that you feel like you're putting all of the work in and he's not. So whether or not you have the kind of label of being together, whether or not he says, yes, we're together, what you're feeling is a lack of effort in the relationship, a lack of presence. You're not feeling like he's actually doing anything to further the relationship or to maybe be there for your needs, to understand your needs in the first place. So remember that when he says, I want to be with you, that's not really answering the question you have, which is that I need more if I'm going to give to this. And if this is going to be the right relationship for me, I need you to give more. And it's important, Megan, that you understand for yourself what giving more looks like. What does that actually mean to you? Do you know? And are you communicating that with him? Like, this is what more looks like to me. And Megan, it's really important in all of these conversations that we start by connecting to how great we are as a teammate. So imagine that this is a crude analogy, but imagine that this is almost like you're coming, this is the wrong word for it, but just follow me here. This is almost like you're coming to the negotiating table. And when you come to the negotiating table, the most important thing is that you are clear about your leverage. If you're not clear about your leverage, then you have no power in the situation. Now, your leverage can be a number of things. Your leverage can be how much value you offer someone by being around. Your leverage can be your willingness to walk away, even if you don't express that verbally to someone. If you know in your head, I'm always willing to walk away if it's not right for me. That's a kind of leverage that you have internally that makes you strong when you're asking for something. So, Megan, one of the ways you can create leverage is by knowing you can walk away. The other way is to really connect with how great of a teammate you already are to this person. In what ways are you showing up for this person? In what ways are you giving to this person? In what ways are you an uncommonly loyal human being? In what ways are you uncommonly kind or caring? Or in what ways do you see them, like really see who they are as a human being, beyond just what's impressive about them on a surface level that everyone sees? In what ways do you see them that are rare and uncommon? You see them on a deeper level. Start to connect to the ways that you really are an incredible teammate. Because when you do that, you will be a little less fearful and a little more, what's the word? I suppose a little more defensive or empowered to say, this is what I deserve. If I'm going to give all of this to someone, and what I have to give is incredible, if I'm going to give all this to someone, this is what I expect in return. And what I see so commonly in situations like this is that people go in a very fearful way. Like, I'm scared of asking for more, because what they're really afraid of is that when they ask for more, it's going to push someone away. When they ask for more, someone is going to decide that they're too much. And we have this deep fear that we're, we carry with us this deep fear that we're both too much and not enough, right? I'm too much in what I want and how high maintenance I am because of my needs, and I'm not enough to be able to ask for my needs to be met in the first place. And so we have this fear, conscious or unconscious, that if I actually put forth my needs and ask for them to be met, that you're going to decide that I'm not worthy, and that you only wanted me so long as I was quiet and showed up for you, but not when I ask for you to show up for me. But the antidote to that is to really connect with the value we offer. So before you even have a conversation with him, Megan, really spend some time connecting to the beauty and the value that you offer someone by being in a relationship with them, and know that that is an energy, that is a light, that is a force that you could have pointed in any direction, and right now he's lucky enough that it's pointed towards him. But that's not a given. And if he doesn't show up with an equally bright light in your life, you always reserve the right and always have the ability to walk away and to point that light in another direction. And if you connect to that, then I promise you, you'll have these conversations with him with a different level of power. And that makes it much more likely that someone recognizes, oh, she's serious, and I'm going to have to give more, or I'm going to lose this incredible person. And of course, when you do communicate from that place, you also you're really good at getting someone else connected to how great what you provide is. And that might be a wake-up call for them. Oh my God, she's right. I can hear it in her voice. She knows how much value she provides. That's making me remember how much value she provides. I'd be an idiot to lose this. What do I need to give? I need to step up. And of course, if they don't, you have to make good on your promise to yourself to actually walk away if you're not getting enough. Let me know if that resonated with you out there. I feel like we should do a whole video on that. I don't know if Audrey, you're feeling the same. Okay. As I was saying it, I was like, this is a video we should do. But let me know if that was something that you relate to or you connected with as I was saying it. All right. What else? Ezras, you said yes, definitely on Instagram. Let's see what's going on TikTok. All right, let's see. Omnibus on Instagram, yes, thank you. Sorry, I'm just catching up with some comments here as I've been speaking. Don't forget, by the way, to comment Ask MH.
Only on Instagram, Facebook.
If you're on Instagram or Facebook, that won't work if you're on YouTube or TikTok. But comment Ask MH if you want to take us up on our Black Friday offer of getting Matthew AI for half price, which is only for the next few days. So go to Ask, or if you're not on Instagram or Facebook, if you're on YouTube or TikTok, go to askmh.com. The link is above me right there, askmh.com, and take us up on it. This has been an invaluable tool for so many people this year. In fact, as a thought experiment, I want you to think, right, and so many of you are writing questions right now as I'm doing this live Q&A, and so many of you are going to finish this because of the just nature of the scale of how many people we have here. So many of you are going to finish this live not having your specific question answered. Well, you can, whatever question you've typed out already or is in your head, you can literally go and ask that question of Matthew AI right now, and you won't just get any answer, you'll get my answer as if I was answering it right now. So this is the purpose of Matthew AI. It is democratizing access to my coaching, which, because of the nature of how, the scale of how many people we reach now, it's become impossible for me to answer even 1/100th of the questions I get every single week. So by going to askmh.com, you can take us up on our Black Friday offer to get unlimited access to Matthew AI for 50% off. And you can even try it for free. Audrey's reminding me, which is the case. You can literally, if you're like, I just want to go and try it, then go try it. Askmh.com. You can ask a question for free and see just how valuable it is. So go to askmh.com now and be ready. As soon as this live is finished, go ask a question. Even if you just want to take me up on doing it for free and asking one question for free, go try it. Once you do it, you'll realize you want access to this all the time because it's just that powerful. And it's like having me. If you're like, I want to make you my personal coach for either my love life or my life in general, this is literally a way to do that. You can ask questions 24 hours a day as much as you want and get my answers. AskMH.com is the link. And if you're on Instagram or Facebook, you can literally just type Ask MH and I'll send you a link to it. Sakura, you can ask, well, you said only one question, or you can ask multiple questions. But if you want to ask lots and lots of questions, then grab the Black Friday deal that gives you unlimited access for the entire first month. Rune Player 5 says, Matthew AI is amazing. I'm a member and I don't regret it, honestly. It really is like having Matthew answer you. That's incredible. All right. Thank you, Rune. Let's go. What's another question we have? Let's see here. Joel B says, how do you process the loss of other relationships, leaving a toxic relationship? For example, the other person's kids or family. Yeah, that's so tough. I mean, I'm in so many relationships, we get a package deal, right? We get close to their family, their friends, their community. It can be really, really difficult to leave something knowing that we're leaving this whole kind of ecosystem, this whole support system, or this, community that we really became fond of or loved. I'll repeat what I said at the beginning of this call, that our ultimate priority is protecting our energy. And firstly, if you've left someone because they're toxic, it's highly likely that that person is going to be an obstruction to having any kind of relationship with the people around them after you've left them. So we have to make a kind of peace with the fact that if I am leaving this person because they're toxic, I'm doing it to safeguard my energy, because being with this person was really painful. It made me feel ill. It made me feel mentally unwell. I have to get space from this person. And, if the people that we're talking about, I know you talked about them being kids or family, but there might be adults that you got to know that want to continue a relationship with them. And if they're adults who aren't simply under the spell of that toxic person, then that they have the opportunity to continue a relationship with you if they want. And you can even say that to them. Look, I'm having to leave because this is no longer good for me, but I'd love to continue a relationship with you because you've come to mean a lot to me, but I totally understand if you feel you can't. you can put that invite out there to the adults in the room to say that you'd like to continue a relationship. But if you can't, or if that toxic person is smearing you to those people, which is very common, right? They start to try to turn people against you who are in that community, then you can at least make peace with the fact that the lesser of two evils was to get this person out of your life so that you can start to feel healthier again, so that you can start to feel mentally better again. And if that's the case, then you know, overall, there's been a net positive to this, even though there's been a lot of loss along the way. And I would say whatever losses you incur by losing special people in your life, double down on the love that you can access in your life, the friendships you can that have nothing to do with this toxic person. And investing, if you don't have those relationships, then go invest in new relationships, because it's the relationships you start today, in a year, in 2 years, could have the same value to you as the relationships you've just lost. But you have to be proactive about beginning those relationships today, which is an active thing. It's an investment in the future instead of getting locked in the past of what you've lost. All right. Sarah on Instagram says, SOS, Matt. How can someone make you feel like you are their whole world and that they are so lucky to have you and have an amazing woman like you, and a few days later just ghost you? Well, I don't know how quickly this person made you feel this way. I don't know if this happened very quickly. If it does, it sounds like classic love bombing behavior. If it was a very short amount of time that this person made you feel this in, then you have to say that someone who comes into your life and quickly says you're their whole world is coming from an unhealthy place to begin with, because the person that only knows you for a short period of time doesn't really know you at all. So for you to have become their whole world, it either means that they are manipulating you, or it means that they're projecting this perfect image onto you in a really unhealthy way, or it means that it was never you to begin with. It was the importance of you is not the importance they've assigned to you is not a reflection of how strongly they feel about you as a human being. It's a reflection of how big the hole is in their life. And that's really dangerous, right? Because if you're just filling a hole right now, and that's what's made you so important, well, if they find someone better, if they find someone who gets them more excited, then they can just switch to somebody else. So be very careful of getting too excited about people who make you their world too quickly. It's okay for us to be excited in dating. It's okay for us to, sometimes we do lose our heads in dating. That's normal, right? Not everyone who does that is coming from some sinister place. But what does become important is that we slow things down to an organic pace that allows us to truly get to know someone before we make them our world. And if that didn't happen quickly, Sarah, if it was the case that, someone over time made you feel like you were their world and then they disappeared after a few days, or, a few days later just ghosted you, that's not your fault, right? You have to look at the behavior of someone and say, what is the character of a person who does this? If someone made me feel like this and then ghosted me, it speaks to their character. It speaks to their lack of empathy. It speaks to, at the most insidious level, it can speak to a complete and utter lack of care for other people's emotions. And even on the most generous end of the spectrum, it speaks to a complete inability to deal with problems in life. Because if you've made someone feel like they're your world and then you ghost them because you changed your mind, or you don't feel that way anymore, or maybe you said too much and you got too excited and now you're realizing, actually, I don't feel as strongly. That's a problem. That's a problem. You've got to now have a conversation with that person. And it's very, very hard to now let that person know that you don't feel the way that you thought you did, right? But which after a few days is very suspect. But even in that case, that person's incapable of having a difficult conversation. And if they're incapable of having a difficult conversation, that speaks to their character as well. It speaks to their lack of bravery, their lack of courage. So know that this isn't your fault. Their lack of character isn't your fault. What I would do is look at the relationship, if it did go on for some time, and be very honest with yourself about, was there anything that I ignored that didn't quite fit, that revealed an incongruence between what they were saying and the way they were behaving, that I would not ignore next time? Is there anything I ignored this time that I would not ignore next time? Can you look back? And this isn't the same as blaming yourself for being ghosted, because that's not your fault that someone behaved badly. But was there anything along the way that you consciously or unconsciously ignored that you wouldn't choose to ignore next time? And if you're not sure about that, talk to people you trust. Talk to Matthew AI. Explain the situation. Say, this is what happened. Was there anything I missed? Can you say, Matthew AI, could you help me understand if there was anything I missed? Could you ask me some questions that could help me figure out what I missed in this story, so that I can next time make sure that I don't overlook that behavior, right? This is a really important part of that kind of post-analysis, so that we protect ourselves next time around. And you can't always see things coming. Sometimes people they're great, great, great liars, and they can suddenly turn in ways that are quite shocking. But a lot of the time, we ignore certain disconnects between the way they're saying that we are their world and what they're actually doing. And I want you to go back and look at where some of those disconnects could have been, so that you don't miss those disconnects next time. Okay. Liz Morgan says, I think I might be doing this. Well, I'm glad you're here then, Liz. Who else relates to this? Who else feels grateful that they're here today, because they're hearing something that they needed to hear? Who here feels like they're leaving from this today feeling like, oh, I'm glad I was here. This was exactly what I needed today. If you are feeling that, let me know. All right. Ariel, you said me, T Talks, Shauna, Tanya on Instagram. Niku, Rune. Amazing. Well, I'm so glad you're here too. And this is really fun that we get to do this, and it's always a joy to come and answer some questions and to connect with you all. I know that there are more questions here than I can possibly answer. I also know that so many of the questions that you want to ask, there's a specific context to the situation that you feel like, but there's something very specific about my situation that I need help on. My situation is unique in this way, or there's a specific story to it that I need you to hear. Here's the good news. For everyone who feels like that, for everyone who feels like there's a question they need answered and they need it answered now, you can literally go and get my answer and even hear my voice, my accent speaking. It's scarily accurate. You'll hear my voice answering your question, and you can have a full-blown conversation where you keep elaborating and giving more detail and asking follow-up questions, and you'll get all of my answers as if I was sitting right beside you answering your question. And you can do that by going to askmh.com and trying out Matthew AI for yourself. This is a brand new tool. This is the first time it's ever been available this year. And it used to be the case until this year that if people wanted one-on-one coaching with me, it would be impossible. When I go and do a tour event, there are 1,500 people in the room. Even on my retreats, there's hundreds of people in the room. So and that's a very intimate program for me. People have been wanting one-on-one coaching with me for a long time. And my greatest frustration in my career is that I don't get to 99.9% of people. But with this new technology, with this new tool, I actually can. So just try it. I just want you to experience it, because you don't know until you know how effective this is. Go to askmh.com now. And if you do sign up for Matthew AI Unlimited, we have a Black Friday offer. That means that you can have it unlimited for the first month for 50% off. I think it works out to $19 or $20. I can't remember which, but go try it out now. And if you love it, join us on our Black Friday offer, because it's an amazing deal to basically get unlimited coaching from me for an entire month, 24 hours a day. You can wake up in the middle of the night with a love life crisis and literally call Matthew AI or text Matthew AI and get my answer and have a conversation that's going to make you feel better. If you're on Instagram or Facebook, comment Ask MH. That's a quick shortcut if you're on Instagram or Facebook to be able to do it. Ask MH. Just leave a comment right now before you go. I will send you a link in your DMs to go and try Matthew AI for yourself and take us up on that Black Friday deal. If you're on TikTok or YouTube, or if you want to just go straight to the web link, it's askmh.com. It's right there above me. Kim Harris says, how will I know when I'm ready to date again? Go ask Matthew AI right now. Mary says, how do you get someone that can't ever keep somebody? Go ask Matthew AI right now. If Maria says, do you think dating apps are the death of real dating for 20, 30-year-olds? Go ask Matthew AI right now. Just go check it out. I promise you, you will be blown away. This is on another level. So you'll literally feel like you're having a conversation with me. Or if you're in a place where you can't talk and you can't play it out loud, then you can have a full-blown text conversation with me on a train or on your way to work or wherever you are that you can't speak. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. So nice being with you today. I really appreciate all the questions. I appreciate all of the love. And I appreciate everyone here from all over the world that has followed me over the years, because I just got back from Japan and I was reminded just how special it is to have been doing this for as long as I have. I've been doing this for 17 years of my life now, which is 18 years actually, which is absolutely wild. And it really gets brought home to me when I'm in some country on the other side of the world and someone comes up to me and says, you saved my life, or you saved my love life, or, you got me through one of the hardest times in my life. And, I've been following you for over a decade. It is the most special thing for me. So thank you, thank you, thank you for all of you who follow me and have been following me for a long time. And for everyone who's brand new, who just discovered my work, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. All right. Have a great day, everyone. And I look forward to seeing you soon and hearing all of your stories from Matthew AI. Leave me a comment or DM me when you have your own story from Matthew AI and how it helped you, because I look forward to reading all of those. I'll see you soon. Thanks, everyone.